welcome to tonight's liquor review, which I am dubbing the green review. And why the green review? Well, because color green is the theme tonight. So, why am I wearing a hat? Well, a commenter said I look better in a lot of my reviews if I have either a button-up shirt, combed hair, or a hat on. So I'm going to try to look a little less like a slob when I review things. I'm trying to have standards, I guess. So, the review tonight is for a very famous beverage. This is Chartreuse, which comes in green or yellow varieties. Now, green is more expensive and is also the more historical one. It's also the stronger one at 55% alcohol by volume. That's 110 proof. Between the alcohol and the amount of sugar in it, and I believe the sugar comes from honey, which we'll see in the review, you know, I don't actually think that there's much water in this beverage at all. It's pretty much sugar, alcohol, and basically the distilled essences of the hidden herbs and spices inside of it. So, this was created in 1605 here by the monks of Chartreuse, which is a monastery, I believe in France, by the border of, in southern France, by the border of Switzerland and Italy. So, let's read the back, shall we? Chartreuse is made only by Carthusian monks of La Grande Chartreuse near Grenoble, France. Chartreuse today is still made from 130 alpine herbs according to an ancient 1605 formula. The secret method of preparation is shared by 3 Carthusian brothers and is protected by vows of silence. Chartreuse is sold in America as a green or yellow liqueur, the latter being sweeter and milder. Each type is also available in a rare VEP. The only liqueur to have a color named after it, Chartreuse is also famous for a flavor and fragrance totally unexpected, remarkably beguiling, unique in all the world. Chartreuse is most popular mixed with tonic or soda in a tall glass with ice, accented by a slice of lemon or lime, but can also be enjoyed on the rocks. Well, for the purposes of tasting, we are going to be using a snifter here. And then later, we're going to have it in the method I actually prefer to have it, which is basically mixed with soda water. Now, some people like it neat, definitely like it cold. I found it a little bit too overwhelming. Straight and at room temperature, because room temperature in Hawaii is quite warm. So, color here is a green, a very natural green. No artificial coloring involved. I would imagine hyssop is being used to create the green coloring, partially. What's amazing is the intense complexity of this. But first, let's finish up the visuals here. It's extremely thick. You can see pretty much leaves legs that don't go down. It's a beautiful color though, isn't it? You can sniff and taste this, and new things will constantly reveal itself to you. It's very strong smelling. As you kind of approach it, you get one smell, and then another one takes over, and then another one kind of takes over as you get into it. And that's what's so interesting about this particular beverage, is that there's so much complexity. Each time you're drinking it, you're discovering new aspects to it. Then when you drink it, just more things kind of come in. Overwhelming almost. So on the nose, you get this mixture of mintiness, of savoriness, of spiciness. As I said to someone on Facebook, you know, when you smell and drink this, it's like you're in a walk-in spice cabinet in France. Your senses are just assaulted from all different angles. All these wonderful things, blended together and yet still distinct. Grassiness, floweriness, almost like violets, but then you also have this very, very intense green kind of smell, like cut grass. There's spearmint, there's horsehead. Small hints of anise and licorice. Many, many other things I can't really sort of identify. Even hints of savory spices like tarragon and rosemary. Then when you drink it, what hits you is just a thickness in your mouth. That thickness and sweetness is very reminiscent of honey. It's not cloying. It tastes really naturally sweet. And it balances and holds all those spices together. And just the intensity of it. In the mid to finish, you get this wallop of mintiness, followed by this spiciness that's both peppery and not so peppery and just regular spicy. So there's a bit of that spicy bite in the end that comes from different directions too. And just the aftertaste in the mouth and the smell it leaves on your breath is absolutely wonderful. You know, you just feel it percolating up into your nose. That's how intense it is. That just the aftertaste, that's more than even the finish. Like literally, as I'm talking here, I can still taste it. I can still taste it up in here as well. It's good to take a little bit of it and just roll it around on your tongue. As it rolls, it just reveals itself in new ways to you. Because of the high alcohol content, whoosh, you know, you get that warmth inside. The high sugar content, you know, sort of blends well with all the spice and the alcohol. What's really interesting is there's how little alcohol burn there is. What burn you feel it mostly comes from the sort of spiciness of certain parts of the herbs in there. There's floral smell. Honeysuckle and grass and hay. Fresh hay. Not barnyard hay, that fresh cut hay. Sweet smelling flowers. It's what I kind of imagine, you know, maybe some of it would just be like running through an alpine meadow almost. Now, already at almost 10 minutes, I just sort of rhapsodized about this and how great it is, and truly it is a great beverage. I'm going to show you the way I prefer to actually take it. I don't have any lemon or lime, but I find that lemon and lime kind of gets in the way of it. You want to use fresh club soda. You can kind of see it just kind of takes on this sort of yellow-green sort of coloration to it. Added maybe a little bit too much soda. You want to add enough, maybe I probably should have added down here. You want to add enough that it still has that nice bouquet to it. Because of the intensity of it, it doesn't suffer at all, excuse me, when you go and add, club soda to it. Still get the herbal aspects. And in fact, you appreciate why they add so much sugar to it. Because once you cut it with soda water, especially club soda, which has a citric acid bite to it, you realize how savory some of the aspects. So a lot of the more savory aspects are going to come out once that sugariness is done. And it's still sweet, but it's only lightly sweet at this point. Carbonation allows for a lot of those more effervescent notes to kind of float up. I find it kind of emphasizes those sort of green and floral notes over the more dried herbal and spicy. And all in all, it makes for a very refreshing drink. So this is great if you really want to go and, just give your taste buds the equivalent of a full body massage, having it straight or on the rocks. Honestly, I've had it on the rocks. It's pretty good like that. I probably could have added that to it, but honestly, it's my third least favorite way to have it, and it would have made this very long. I try to keep these under 15 minutes. So, in summation, Chartreuse, made by Carthusian monks in France. This is something that all people like herbal beverages, who like liqueurs, and who just like the history of alcohol and drinks in particular, should definitely go and try this straight, and should definitely try it in cocktails. It's so distinctive and strong. It would definitely make a very interesting addition to any sort of cocktail that you'd make. I wouldn't use this as a base of a cocktail because how strong it is. It's basically something you would use to flavor a cocktail. So that is our liqueur review for tonight. And, well, it's really hit me now. I'm trying to think of the French way to say cheers, but I can't remember because I've had, like I said, alcohol in this is pretty strong. I'm probably going to have to call it a night after these two. Well, that's your liqueur review for tonight, folks. Cheers, and definitely give this a shot if it's up your alley.